What's up, everyone? My name is Matthew. Welcome to our podcast, where we delve into the personal experiences of first responders and how their mental health is affected by their roles. Today, your special guest is me. I'm going to be introducing myself as well as our foundation. My role as a first responder is a police officer. I live in Tennessee, and I am a police officer for a local city department. A little bit about me is that I have struggled with mental health for quite a few years. I was in the Army, I was a paratrooper, and after the military, I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder and anxiety. I struggled with my mental health for a while, untreated, and then I decided, and my family decided, that it was time that I get treatment for my disorder. So I did, and I was good for quite a while, number of years. I was on medication, I was in therapy, and then I thought that I would chase my dream of finally being a police officer. You know, back in the day, it was always said that if you had a VA disability of depression or any history of depression, that you would never be able to be a police officer. Well, I broke that, and I did. I joined the police department in 2020 after struggling and figuring out my life for 10 years after the military. I became a police officer. I went through my academy. I was the president of my academy. I was voted in by my peers. I excelled in leadership positions throughout. And then all of a sudden, I lapsed on my medications due to moving. And I found myself struggling with my mental health again. This time, it was uniquely different. The VA had a lapse in coverage with me, and I was unable to see a provider for a length of time due to the extensive wait times. My depression got very bad to the point where myself and my wife found it best that I step away from law enforcement altogether until I can get my stuff together. Unfortunately, when I left, I became a truck driver, and I wound up getting into a serious incident where I flipped a fuel tanker because I lost my brakes. At this time, my depression took off. I struggled insanely hard for months. So much so that the only option my wife could come up with was trying out ketamine therapy. And I did. I went through 5 sessions of ketamine therapy prior to even being back on my medications. It truly saved my life. There's not a lot of resources for first responders. Not every department has EAP, employee assistance programs. I had to pay out of pocket for my ketamine therapy. And it wasn't until I finished that trial and I was back on medication that I was able to suffice in life again and truly live and better myself. But I wasn't over. I wasn't done. And I refused to give up. So I joined the police department again. But because too much time has lapsed, I had to go through a police academy again. In this academy, I took a leadership role as a mentor to the other recruits because of my experience. I excelled through this academy and became a police officer again. Made it through FTO, got on my own beat. And I'm to this day stable and happy and excelling in my career. But it was insanely difficult without support. I had the support of my wife, but insurance and the VA is very hard to have immediate care. Because of my experiences, I found that I wanted to create a foundation that was focused on obtaining and maintaining direct support to first responders in our communities. This support can be in the fashion of helping them get to a therapist, and potentially paying for their first few visits until EAP or their insurance can catch up to get them stable, regardless of if they had a critical incident or the stressors of the job has finally caught up to them. The jobs we have as first responders is incredibly difficult. Not only is it taxing on your body, but on your mental health. And that is often very overlooked. And that's unfortunate. It really is. My foundation strives to get this assistance to our first responders. And in doing so, we hope to reduce the risk of suicide in our responders and risk of them losing their career because they go without the therapy, medications, and lifestyle changes that they need. My foundation is just starting off, and I really ask that everybody help out. We owe it to our first responders to look out for them as they look out for us on the daily. I'm not looking for donations out of pocket, although you can if you'd like. But I am coming out with an apparel line of t-shirts, and I hope that you would be more than willing to buy a t-shirt, not only for the funding that will go towards our first responders, but also to wear it proud that you are supporting a foundation that is supporting our local heroes. There are many, many resources for our military service and members. Not enough, but there is. There's even fewer for our fire, EMS, police, and healthcare workers. Not only that, but the stigma is still there in the mental health realm for first responders. Nobody talks about it, and some departments are getting better. And over time, they will continuously improve. But my foundation will focus on education and getting the word out to our police departments, our fire departments, all of our first responders and hospital care systems, that their employees, their officers, their firefighters, their EMS personnel, their mental health matters. And it is absorbently important that they get the right care as fast as they can, especially after a critical incident or a tough scene. Being a first responder has presented both challenges and rewards. The high stress nature of the job, exposure to traumatic events, and the constant pressure to perform at high levels have certainly taken a toll on my mental health. It's a constant balancing act to provide self-care while providing critical support to those in urgent need. Just remember that. I hope my introduction finds everybody well. Moving forward, I intend on interviewing first responders from all over the country on their experiences with their woes in mental health regarding their careers. So you may find insight onto how this affects our local responders. Thank you all, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me. I hope you all have a great day. Keep your head up. It's not over.